Oh boy, do we got some massive drama surrounding competitive Deadlock. Not something I thought I'd be saying, at least not until Deadlock came out as like a full game and got out of the playtest. But I guess there's some tomfoolery going around in competitive Deadlock. And so what this basically comes from is a channel, and I guess like an organization called Deadlock Night Shift. But basically, they do like late night Deadlock tournaments and competitions, and they play for like a prize money every week or like every twice a week or something. They play for money, as many esports tournaments do. But there's some controversy going on in the most recent one, and this is the first, I guess, like sponsored tournament, or like it had a bit of a higher prize pool. Like there was some sponsorship money, and as a result of this, some nefarious ne'er do wells on one of the teams decided to try and abuse a bug to effectively make them so that they are getting a lot more money than they should. And so I'm going to show this little breakdown of what the fuck happened and see, and you can see why it's going to be a big issue. And it was a big issue when it happened.
The clip is on wave 1, so basically they all are individually hitting their own minion, right? And then they're all gonna individually melee their own minion. So like Shiv is on the right one, Ivy's on the middle one, Celeste is on the left one, and Mo's on the back one, right? And they all last hit and melee it, okay? What it does is that they all get the full gold. Look at the top gold. So they all get the full gold, and they all get 890 gold, which means they actually get more gold than if they played the game normally. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, what happened here is this team, one of the teams, I think they're called Abrahams. Yeah, something like that. Abrahams, I was correct. Made a, I guess we're aware of a income glitch in the game, and they basically made it so they got just, I think it was like over 2 times the normal amount of money they should have gotten from killing those minions right there. And as a result, they did this multiple times throughout the game, and they were just effectively getting just an extremely large amount of money of the team that they were playing against. And obviously this caused like some controversy, but there's some very funny things that happened about this surrounding the entire bug before like, you know, there was a verdict being made. One of the funniest things here is like the actual like, communications between the players that happened in the game. So we have like some commentary from the players and I guess some of the organizers, I think, about what happened and just some clarification about what was going on. So Saint MXM's about match situation. The only right thing to do in this situation is to take a break from the Leviathans and say, we'll check with the admins to see if this is allowed. They typed R, accepted the game rules, and started adapting by running along the lines. I'm not surprised we got disqualified after all. And so I guess this was a quote from one of the players on Abraham's, you know, one of the glitch abusing, or not the bug abusing teams. And so, however, after clarifying the situation with organizers, the Leviathan team accepted the challenge and typed R. Ready. At the moment, everyone in stream chat was claiming it was a bug exploit, but Deadlock Night Shift decided to continue the match. This raises the question: why did Leviathan decide to play after the clarifications? Why did Abrams write that it was a bug exploit? And why did Deadlock Night Shift decide on disqualification rather than a rematch? So a really funny thing that happened in this game right now here is in that picture below, where one of the players on the Leviathans asked the Abrahams team, isn't this bug abuse? And then someone on Abrahams just said no. And like this is an absolutely ridiculous thing to do, where it's just like, nah, it's not bug abuse. Like, we don't know why this is happening. Or we think this is just like a normal game mechanic in the game. When like that is very clearly a bug. There's no reason why you should get twice the amount of money by doing this like a random technique that is like no one has ever really done in the game. There's a lot of like, I guess, issues with Deadlock Night Shift and like I guess the Deadlock esport being early in like its life cycle. And a big issue of this is that I guess they don't really have a rule book at all for the game and like what is allowed and what's not allowed. So right here we have someone who I guess is more in tune with Deadlock. Abraham's bug abusing in Night Shift is to be expected. Night Shift does not have a rule book as far as I'm aware. I think having one would do a lot so they can have clear guidelines in these situations. And like, so yeah. And then they clarify, Night Shift has asked players to not bug abuse and made it clear if it's game breaking, they should check with admins first. Clearly, everyone's not care. Disqualifying them was the right call for sure. So obviously a big issue of this, and it would have been entirely avoided. I guess like any annoyance with the situation would have been avoided if they just had a clear rule book. But them making it clear that they're not like, you know, they shouldn't abuse bugs and they should check with the admins was obviously like the right way to go about it beforehand. And so if Abrahams knew that this was a thing that they had to do, and just decided not to check with the admins at all, I don't know what the fuck they were expecting. Like, I don't know if they were expecting just for them not to catch it, even though it's like, I guess, a well-known bug where the entire chat was spamming it. I don't know what the end goal here was, but it feels like just they're kind of stupid and they thought they would get away with it, or they're desperate for like the sponsorship money or the prize money that they were, you know, going to receive if they won. It just doesn't make any sense for this team to try and bug abuse to get money. And another big thing, I guess, is like after all this hoopla was coming out about the tournament, Yoshi, one of the biggest developers, I guess, like one of the most well-known developers in the game, and he kind of is like the big communicator with the Deadlock Discord. Said a client updated to fix the Souls exploit, and so they fixed it like within a few hours of the exploit being a big deal during the tournament. So I guess good on the Deadlock devs for fixing that. I mean, it's kind of crazy that they did it that quick and like maybe they didn't think it was that big of an issue, but they wanted to be more attuned to the Deadlock esports scene so that this shit doesn't happen again because that's crazy. And then another thing that happened too was that like I guess the Abrahams org, I guess is that what it's called for Deadlock, was kind of like talking shit or like just like posting about the tournament beforehand, and just saying how they're ready to go, and then everyone's just kind of making fun of them. I guess they're signing racists and bug abusers, two equally evil things. I guess, another reason to hate Abrahams is they're signing racists, I guess, allegedly for that one person. And they're just kind of getting cloud down. We have this person saying, counting or not counting bug abuse, obviously the famous Charlie Kirk quote before he got fucking neck blown out. But yeah, this is like kind of the big thing that is like rough for the entire Deadlock, I guess, community and Deadlock esports space is like, all right, guys, after almost a year, we finally landed a major sponsor for our grassroots esports scene. Please don't do anything that could potentially fuck up future relationships. And then Abraham goes in and does a bug abuse that makes them get disqualified in literally the first ever sponsored event. And I think this was just like a kind of a crazy thing for Abrahams to do, and it's kind of something I wanted to talk about. Where like, I'm a big fan of Deadlock. I like playing Deadlock, and I think it's just crazy that once the first ever tournament where someone they have like a major sponsor for it, someone tries to exploit themselves into money. And like, it's not surprising. Obviously, people kind of get desperate or like they kind of want to work around the way to get easy money quick. But it just makes no sense to me if this was such a well-known bug among like the entire community where like the chat was talking a lot about it. I don't understand the philosophy or what went behind those brains of theirs to like go ahead and try to get away with this. Like they just got disqualified. I don't know if they're gonna get banned from any more like or any future events, because I think people got to like play their way up to these events, so they might just like get I guess suspended from playing for bug abusing and probably the most important like event of the entire scene so far, because once again, first major sponsor. Kind of a stupid decision by all those players on the team to not like have the foresight to even ask the admins. Like the admins have said before, if you think a bug's a bug, ask us. And they didn't even do that, or maybe they did. We're told no, and then did it anyway. Either way, completely stupid decision from them to do, and I don't really understand how they thought they would get away with it. But that's what I gotta say for today. So, thank you for watching. Goodbye.